Welcome to the Cattle Talk Podcast, your weekly breakdown of cattle market fundamentals, key news, and the insights shaping the industry. Trading commodity futures and options involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors.
All right. Today is May 7th. I've got Jace here with us today. How's it going, Jace?
It's going good.
Awesome. Well, let's start talking about these cattle futures. We had just a wild trading session here over the past day or so here, Jace. But talk me through what you've seen with cattle futures here over the week so far.
Yeah. So last week we put in contract highs and then kind of set back from them. We've been trading very consistently between two trend lines, one on the way up and one towards the bottom end. And it like today's trade down at the bottom bounced right off of that support and closed above the 20-day moving average on the August futures there. So kind of interesting trade there, but started out the morning kind of thinking that today was just some money flow. And then towards the end of the day, we started hearing some maybe possible fundamental reasons why this thing was lower.
Interesting. What were some of those fundamental reasons that you were thinking of for today's action? Any headlines worth mentioning here today? Yeah.
So the DOJ has been actively investigating the Packers, and they've been broadcasting that wide. I guess Rollins has been having a few speeches on it. So there's not a lot of clarity around exactly what's going on there or what they're trying to accomplish, but that is in the headlines and it's kind of bearish.
I gotcha. Interesting. What other headlines do you got going on in the cattle space right now? You think that are moving things?
Yeah. So Trump met with President Lula of Brazil this afternoon, and just kind of wondering if that's bleeding into the cattle or has an impact on these cattle just with the way that futures traded towards the end of the day and our beef imports coming from there.
I gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, besides President Lula, the White House visit there, any other headlines that really moving things before we start talking about some of the other interior fundamentals here?
I don't think too much other than cash was strong this week, but not really a headline. Just cash above 260 was impressive.
Okay, so cash above 260 here this week. Last week, 257 or so, you thought?
Yeah, last week, top of 257. This week started out at 255 and then headed higher. We got 256 bid yesterday and then up to 260 and a little bit higher this week.
I gotcha. Nice. If I'm looking at some of the other things happening right now, let's talk about the import side of the equation. What can you tell us about some of the recent data we've had on imports?
Yeah, so we're importing a significant amount more beef than we were last year. So about 19% of our total beef production is imported now, which is a dramatic increase from last year. Last year was about 11 for the year. And actually we talked about the quotas from South America and those areas had been in the earlier stages of this uptrend. They would fill their quota right away and then not really send much more because the tariff disincentivized them from coming to our market after that. Whereas now we've got such high prices here relative to the rest of the world that they're willing to send it even after the meat's been tariffed. So we're seeing a more consistent import of beef.
I gotcha. Interesting. The cutout, how do you think that's been reacting here as of real recently?
Cutout's been flatter than I think that it should be, but yet we are in an uptrend. Like we're in a seasonal uptrend here. It's been higher, but relative to what cash is doing, cash almost seems a little unsustainable compared to the cutout. I mean, they're paying $405 in the meat for cattle and they're getting $389 on the choice.
It's just a little early, isn't it? Don't you think that here a couple weeks out, start to see that early seasonal climb on cutout? Don't you think we'll see something soon? I mean, it's not like the numbers appear appear to be there at this point, Jace. What do you think on time here?
Right. It will be interesting to see, because what we have with the imported beef, we'll have to see how demand reacts to that. If that's enough different or lesser quality than what we're used to here, that we see a little bit of a demand drag there, or if it just got high enough.
This week's trade, do you think that's revolved mainly around headlines so far this week here?
It kind of seems like it.
Yeah, it seems like most of the egg space, like today, for example, most egg commodities were trading lower. And I would argue that the outside markets have still had a pretty good hold on the agricultural space here this week so far. Going forward, I mean, supply is still down. As long as the American consumer holds on, stays strong, it would appear that fundamentals suggest that things are still okay in this cattle market to keep moving higher. But the trade likely is going to get a little impatient if cutout can't head higher here, isn't it?
That's definitely true. And just kind of looking at the numbers over the past few years, the cow guy, this is a little bit rougher math, but the cow guy's got about 96% of the increase in the cattle market here.
Mhm.
And the feeders got a little bit of an increase, and then the packers lost quite a bit. So there's a shift in the balance there between the three, and the Packers losing money, I don't think that'll happen forever, and
True.
and so that is definitely a risk. But if you look at our supply and just look at supply, that would paint a more bullish picture. We're struggling to retain heifers with the dryness out west, and there's a lot of things on the supply side that would make it bullish, but there are so many risks on the demand side and on the packing side. And I mean, because in reality, we're trading live cattle. We're not trading the cutout, where we saw it during COVID be over $400 on choice, and cash was at 88. So we've just got to remember that we're trading live cattle, and that there's still risk in that chain.
Well, the Southwest United States still plenty dry. Western U.S. still plenty dry. Hay's getting a little bit more expensive here lately. The cows are getting cheaper in that direction, it sounds like, as well. So at this point, watch the weather a little bit up front. Obviously, any headlines that are moving, and bigger picture, the supply side just isn't changing. Fundamentals don't seem to be changing. And we're heading into an okay time of the year, typically for cattle producers.
Yep. I would have one word of caution. We are in a time right after April futures expired here, that the futures don't have to really care about fundamentals for a little while here. They can do their own thing while cash heads higher. We're used to seeing a positive basis this time of year, so just be a little careful on the risk management side, making sure that you're still aware that a lot can change the futures when the cash at present seems really good.
Well, basis was a wild ride today, especially, wasn't it, with the activity we had?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. Everybody out there, please click on the link in the description below to check out our daily market commentary and other marketing info there as well. Thank you for joining us, Jace. We really appreciate it. Go to our website at Professional Ag Marketing if you need anything else.